Hi, my name is John. Welcome to another Sunday night nightcap. Tonight's nightcap, I do a little bit of machining for myself. I make a new handle for one of my video tripods, and I have a close look at the two vices I bought for the milling machine, do a little bit of setup work on them. I've just returned from Beamish. I've been there all weekend. Unfortunately, Richard's steam wagon, the Sentinel, is not quite ready yet. But there was still plenty for us to look at and play with. I got quite a lot of video. I'll put a little taster on here of what's to come, and there'll be some videos going on to probably the Patreon channel this week, and then coming back down onto here next week. Anyway, that's enough talking. Let's get on and see what we managed to get up to. I bought these two milling machine vices a few weeks ago. They're actually a matched pair. That's to say they've been stripped and they've been deckhated, or that face there has been machined to be the same height as that one. The lad was using 4 of these to machine a big long piece of graphite, so I know for a fact that they are machined nice and true. What I need to do now is make a method of easily squaring the vise up to the table of the machine. My other vise has got 2 dowels on. Now I know these slots are 14mm. I've got a bit of 14mm key steel here, which is a perfect fit in the slot. Underneath the vises, or at least the vise, this one here has got a slot in it, and this one is a plain one. You only use one slotted vise, and you use that one with its true piece in to lay the other vise up. Now, if that's 14mm as well, it'll be a miracle, because things like this never work out for me. But it actually is dead on 14mm, so that saved me quite a lot of work. So all I need to do now is machine a piece of this, just drill 2 holes in it and counterbore them. That gets screwed onto there, and then that lines the vise up. Hopefully it'll be dead true to the table. What you would normally do is you would clamp that in there and then set it up on that T-slot there, then mill your slot. That's how you make sure it is square. But this has been done for me, and looking at the machine on the rest of the vise, it should be absolutely perfect. So that is a nice fit in there. Like I say, this never works out for me. It's always something strange, but it is actually a perfect fit. So we'll cut rid of this to length and then drill and tap some holes in it. It's ready to, you can see on the base of my original vise, it's got 2 dowels in, and they simply fit into there nice and tight like that, and that's what holds a vise in line. It's a good fit, but it's not perfect. There's a little bit of slogger on it. Hopefully the key steel will be absolutely spot on. I'm going to use this vise just to machine that part in. And these are the 2 T-bolts I use with it. This vise actually came with a milling machine. It's been a really good vise. It's been no problem at all. But it'd be nice to have 2 vises the same height, so I can hold longer pieces of material. It's basically to keep your vise off centre that way or that way, and keep moving it around a bit, and it means that the machine doesn't get worn in the same position. That's how you often find wear in a lathe is all up at the headstock end, because that's where all the action normally takes place. I've had a little bit of a tidy up so I can actually find things now. It got to the point where I just had to tidy up, I couldn't find anything. Right, we'll cut that piece to length, measure it and get some holes drilled in it. I've cut a piece of steel off, and all I want to do is square the ends up on it. I even managed to find the handle for the vise straight away. Right, the other end's pretty good, I'll leave it at that. Just take those rags off with the file. I've marked the first hole, so we need to find the centre of this, and then we can drill the first hole, measure it, and then drill and counterbore the second one. Do that again. It stops and then it just kicks off, and we zero the axis there down to the other side. And then split the difference of the two dimensions. It's given us 18mm, which is right because it's 14mm key steel and that pin is 4mm in diameter. So we zero the y-axis, right, and that's absolutely spot on the centre there. We'll lock that up. So you need to centre drill it, then drill it 5mm for the 5mm bolt, and then countersink it so the bolt head disappears. Right, just going to pick that first point up, which is there. It's not super critical, the first one, but the second one is in relation to the first one. Be careful when you break through it, if you want to go right through and hit the base. You always put a little bit of pack underneath just to make sure. I've zeroed the tail over there. Now we need to countersink this one. They're the bolts I'm going to be using, so I need to measure the head and then put a cutter in there, the same diameter as that, or slightly larger. I don't need to countersink the bolts because there's plenty of depth on the T-slot of the milling machine to hide that bolt or to lost that bolt head, so I'm just going to leave it like that. And we'll measure the centres of the two holes on the vise, and then we can put the other hole in, and then we're looking not too bad. These have been drilled and tapped 5mm, so probably the easiest way is to put two bolts in, then measure that, which I get to 66.83. Then all I'm going to do is take off 5mm, and that's my hole centres, 66.5. So 61.5 will be the distance between the centres. Well, a little guesstimate, it is 61.5 indeed. It's a simple case to dial in 61.5. Which is there. Now we can drill the other hole. Ready to accept this bolt. Once again, my dad's drill comes into play to finish the job off. Take any nasty little rags off. I've even got the bench tied up. And I found the oil pump off the jet engine. I must get on and get that project done. Right, we'll see how good or bad what measuring has been. Nice and clean in there. Well, that's not bad. Just making sure that the bolts aren't through too far that they're foul on there, but they're not. And I'm sure the T-slots are deep enough to accommodate that part. And all it's doing is lining the vise up. There's no actual load on that because the clamping bolts take all the load. Right, so that is a really nice fit in there. There's no side play on there at all. I'll clamp it down, then put a clock in there and have a little bit of measure. I think I'm going to move it out to this hole here, to this T-slot here. It'll be better. We're going to get the bastard thing off now. Which could be, that's it. Right. Yeah, we'll put it on that one. I made 2 T-bolts earlier. These slots are bigger. It's obviously been run on a bigger machine with bigger T-bolts, but some big heavy washers, it'll be perfectly alright. Actually, I had to machine the heads of the nuts down as well to clear the locking nuts on the gib strip on the vise. They do clear, but they just clear. But clearance is clearance. Right, I've actually got another vise handle. In fact, I've got 2. Surely we'll call it lots on both. Right, so I need to put something in there, run a clock on it and see how good it actually is. I'm pretty happy with that, it's not moving. Very happy. So the vise is in fact nice and true. Right, I'll put it on the top now and we'll try it, see how level it is. Right, so basically the vase is spot on. Very happy with that indeed. Right, so if you wanted to use 2 vases to machine something quite long, you've only got 1 vase mounted and locked up, that's the master vase. You put a piece of bar in there like that, tighten that up, and you would simply put your T-bolts on that vase, close this one up, obviously have them further apart than this, close it up until it grips on the piece of case steel or whatever you've got in there, and then you put your 2 bolts in there, your clamp down bolts, and that vase is then held in line with the other one. That's how it works, simple as that. I want to do one more test to make sure that the height of the bases of the vase are the same. We'll make sure that's sitting down in both vases. Bring it up to 0. Right. And that's half a sour, if that. Right, John's very happy. Very happy indeed. Nice little vase. I'm pleased I bought them.